shield and surrender your ships, we will add your biological and technological distinctiveness to our own. Your culture will adapt to service us. Resistance is futile.
Hello, welcome back to the second episode of K2. We are glad to have you back again for another time to chat about some sci-fi. Today we're going to be talking about some problems in Star Trek. I'm Kevin.
I'm also Kevin. No more of the also Kevin thing.
Oh, wait a second. You just said you were also Kevin.
It's just, I'm Kevin, okay?
I'm Kevin too.
Alright, Kevin too.
Alright, Kevin also. Let's get this thing going.
So, in our last video, we picked on Star Wars with 4 things. So we thought it would be fair that we pick on Star Trek with the same number of things.
Okay, so there are 4 things we do want to talk about, and they're problems with Star Trek. And the first that we're going to mention are away missions.
When they go on away missions in Star Trek, no matter what it is, it's always the bridge crew who goes. With maybe 1 or 2 ensigns rarely.
Well, you know, if there's an ensign along,
they're going to die.
That's right. If they're wearing a red shirt in TNG, and they go to a planet with a bridge crew...
TOS, they die.
You're right.
And the gold shirts die in TNG.
It's if you've never seen them before and they're on an away mission, they're not coming back.
Probably not.
Now, it's one of those difficult things to understand why you would send your most experienced bridge crew on an away mission. Now, I realize sometimes you need expertise on an away mission, right?
Yeah, but several times in the shows, they have died on away missions or some terrible things have happened and they've gotten stuck.
That's right.
Now your entire bridge crew is stuck, and you have low-ranking officers operating the ship.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to make a lot of sense from a command and control perspective. However, the only solution I've come up with this is it's a TV show.
Yeah. And they need more time with the main characters.
So, I understand that.
It makes sense, but still, it's a little annoying.
I still think they could come up with a few extras to send down and just send one of the bridge crew.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't mean if you send 3 unknown actors down that all 3 have to die.
No.
In fact, it would be kind of incredible to see a gold or red shirt survive. Or
maybe get a promotion.
That's right. You know, there was a really good episode where there were 4 junior officers.
Yeah.
One was Bajoran, one was Vulcan, 2 were humans.
Yeah.
And they were vying for advancement, and it was a really good episode. I liked it.
It was.
The Bajoran officer is killed in the process, which is kind of sad. And later the Vulcan officer ends up on Voyager.
So that was interesting to see him again. And then another thing, even if you do send the bridge crew, at least give them some extra protection with environmental suits.
Well, you mean a hypo spray to protect you from the radiation isn't enough?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, if the oxygen level is just not where we want it, they do give you a triox compound in a hypo spray. You're saying that's not enough?
Yeah, you just want the environmental suit and you can stay down for longer.
Now, one of my favorite EV suit episodes actually comes from Voyager. Tom Paris and B'Elanna Torres are in EV suits, spacesuits. Their shuttle
gets
died.
Yeah, it's gone.
And they survive in their suits. That was pretty cool.
They didn't survive for long. It wasn't the best conditions.
But it was a good episode.
Yeah, it was.
It really was. I like that.
But in Enterprise, they do fix this problem a little.
That's right. And they even have different uniforms for hot weather and cold weather. And I know some of the stories suggest that the uniforms are smart fabric that keep them cool in cold places and keep you cool in warm places and cool.
Warm and cold places.
Thank you.
But environmental suits, when there's radiation, just put them on.
I agree.
When the oxygen levels aren't good, just put them on. You have them. Can you use them?
I'm with you. So, another one of our issues is that, and this is especially true of Picard, He really likes to ask questions first and then shoot.
I get that. They're the Federation. They're supposed to be nice people. Until they bring out the Defiant, but then it's another story.
Well, the Defiant's another story, you're right.
Yes.
One of my favorite Star Trek ships of all time.
Yes.
But you're right. I mean, Picard is a good diplomat. But there are times you see the shields are almost gone, the occasional beam is falling out of the ceiling, there are sparks everywhere, and they're still trying to decide, do you think they're really mean or just trying to say hello in a different way?
I think they're mean people.
So do I. I think they should shoot back sooner instead of later.
Yeah, ask questions first, but shoot back in time. Don't wait for your, don't wait for you to lose pressure on all of your decks.
That's right. You gotta respond a little sooner.
Yeah.
Now, I realize Picard's the good guy, and I like Picard, don't get me wrong.
Picard's cool.
He is. But you gotta shoot back sooner. I think Janeway dials it up a little bit on Voyager. She's more Kirk-like.
And, Cisco does, too.
But Worf has got to be my favorite commander of a starship. He shoots back pretty quickly. And like in, was it First Contact?
Yes, First Contact.
When he can't shoot anymore?
Ramming
speed, yes! He's not messing around. He's going to stop the Borg, even if he has to do it personally with his batlip.
Yeah, that's what I like about Klingons.
Now, Klingons are some of my favorite characters in Star Trek. Understanding Klingons are always tough. Even when the Universal Translator is working well.
Too well.
Too well? What do you mean by that?
Well, in TNG and later series, they'll encounter an alien species, and right away they'll perfectly understand the language, even if they'd never heard it before.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Apparently the Universal Translator doesn't need to take time to figure out the language. Like in Voyager, they're in the Delta Quadrant. They never heard these languages before, but they can talk perfectly fine.
That's true. And it also seems to work two ways. I mean, as far as I know, Neelix never had a Universal Translator when they first started chatting.
Yeah, probably not.
And yet they had no trouble communicating.
No, they did not.
But it would be a pretty bad program to watch if you can't talk to anybody.
But at least make it a few minutes to figure it out.
I will say that in the series Stargate SG-1, the earlier episodes, the one character, Daniel Jackson, does have linguistic skills, speaks a lot of languages, and works at understanding languages. But as this program progresses through the first season, everybody just starts speaking English, which is really convenient. Maybe there's some of that going on here. It's just because it's a series and
they need time to do other things rather than... Enterprise does fix this very well.
Well, but I mean, the issue would be with Enterprise, though, is that...
it's older technology, doesn't work as well, takes more time.
Well, actually, it's newer technology. It's still in its infancy.
It's older technology to the TNG people.
And they can figure it out, but it takes time.
Yeah, and usually they need help from Hoshi.
Which she has a really cool gift in this, being able to understand languages very quickly. Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty cool thing.
I wonder how the Borg understand languages.
I don't think they care, to be honest.
Probably not.
They assimilate you, and there's no longer a need for you to worry about language.
Yeah.
See, that's one of my difficulties with the Borg. I think the Borg are some of the best villains in any sci-fi.
Yeah.
They're scary, they're menacing, but they're not...
All that...
They're not evil.
No, they're not evil.
They're not malicious in that they want to hurt you.
They're trying to see perfection.
As they see it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with their vision of perfection. Clearly, I have a different aesthetic when it comes to how things should look. And
yes, definitely.
But, you gotta admit, they are the coolest bad guys in any sci-fi.
Yeah.
I mean, I would rather face 1,000 stormtroopers than one Borg.
Mhm.
Actually, I want to see that sometime. I want to see the Borg and the Empire go at it.
Yeah, they would have the coolest battle ever.
It'd be great.
I mean, one could get aboard a Star Destroyer, start assimilating everything.
Well, see, that's my problem here with Star Wars or Star Trek.
Star Trek,
Get my
Star
stars
Wars.
confused. The Borg never throw more than one cube at the Federation.
No, I mean, but in Voyager you see hundreds of cubes just flying around everywhere.
Yes, they're heavy. They're all over the place, and that conflict with Species 8472 is intense.
It is.
Now, if they had any kind of desire to really assimilate the Federation,
Or the Alpha Quadrant, for that matter.
might as well throw in the Beta Quadrant while you're
Yeah.
at it. They could do it because
They-
there's nothing that will stop them.
Yeah, they just go in, assimilate a ship, assimilate another ship, on and on and on until you assimilate the entire galaxy.
Right. I mean, they could do it.
Easily. Except for Q.
Well, Q's another thing. You know, I like the Q character in Star Trek, but sometimes it's a little too easy.
Yeah.
Q is a great disruptive force though, that makes you
Did we
think
just
about
add an extra?
things. I think we did. We
problem?
just. But is Q really a problem?
Not really.
And you can't talk about the Borg without Q, because Q's the one that introduces the Federation to the Borg. Slapping the Enterprise across space and letting them interact with the Borg and be terrified and realize there's this super bad,
Powerful,
menacing
destructive force out there.
that they can't handle.
Do anything about, really. They
It's
just sit
true.
back and watch.
I mean, Wolf 359,
Most of the fleet was
one
destroyed.
cube decimates all the available ships
Mhm.
that Federation has, blows through the defenses around Earth as if they weren't even there.
Yeah.
And the only reason anything happens is because Data figures out a way to tell Picard to put the Borg to sleep, and it blows up by itself.
Yeah.
I mean, they got lucky.
They really did.
But as you play around with the idea of the Borg, in First Contact, a
They
few
were-
Borg get onto the Enterprise.
That was the end of the Enterprise, essentially. At least the crew.
That's right. I mean, they multiply quickly by assimilation,
Mhm.
and they're in the process of assimilating the Enterprise.
Yep.
And it's only Data who really is able to resist assimilation and stops the process by killing the Queen.
Yep.
Now, I'm not sure why that killed the other Borg,
Maybe they just lost order.
but again, it's this kind of rare circumstance. There's only one Sun-type android floating around in Starfleet,
Yeah.
and
The other one I wouldn't trust.
well, yeah,
Lore.
Laura is not all that helpful, and at the last TNG movie, we're not even sure if Data's still around himself.
Yeah. And Lore even made the Borg worse somehow. That was frightening. Actually, I don't know if that made them worse or better.
I don't know. It's an interesting question.
Yeah.
Well, the Borg are a lot of fun, and I'm
They
glad they're in the Star Trek universe. I think they are the most menacing. I mean, they make the Klingons look friendly. They make the Romulans look nice.
They make the Sith look nice.
Well, it's true. You want to jump universes here.
Yeah.
But
Not mind doing that.
the truth is, I don't think, even on their best day, the Federation could really take the Borg. One cube they can handle, but if they send 10 cubes, it's all over for the Alpha Quadrant.
If they sent, and they could send hundreds of cubes if they really wanted to.
That's right. And they can get there quickly using transport conduits and move much faster than what Starfleet can respond.
Yeah, it would be no war, essentially.
You're right. Well, I think that's about it for today, isn't it?
It is. I can't think of anything else.
All right, so hey, if you've got questions, comments, leave us a note. We'll be glad to add it to the list and see what we can do.
Yep.
So enjoy some Star Trek this weekend. Have fun. enjoy some Star Wars. Star Wars. Get some science fiction in here, and if you're feeling a little old school, grab some SG-1. All right. Well, this is Kevin.
I'm Kevin.
And we're going to say, see you later.